community host. I'm not from the DBT Lab, I'm from Reggie, so that's my company. And then, so I do Taipei DBT Meetup for almost 2 years. Then because my company is here, so I fly here once in a while, and I just realized I'm very surprised the San Francisco DBT Meetup is not as active as I expected. So that's why today we're here. Yeah. So in case you're not in the Slack, please join the community, and this is really, really helpful. You can ask questions, and if you have problems on any tool, any database, I think there's a channel for that. And then Colex next week. Anyone coming to Colex? Yeah, cool. Yeah. We will be there. So I will be there. My company will be there, and then we will hosting a happy hour. So you are all invited. And then if you cannot be there, there's the Colex still online, so you can join online as well. Yes, Colex. And then okay, so because this is the official template, you know. So if you are not familiar, if anyone don't use dbt right now, doesn't use dbt? Okay, cool. Then this is for you. So now, so we will do. Pradesh will be the talk. He will do a talk later, and then we'll QA, and then we need to take a photo so I can read this. Okay, so we need to take a photo, and then like you can take this place. We will we ran this place until 8 o'clock. So like please help me to clean up, and that's all I need. Thank you. So then let's welcome Pradesh.
Thanks so much for this opportunity to share with you what we have learned in last couple of years working very closely with data, dbt, and AI. My name is Pradesh, one of the founders of Ultimate AI. We are the team behind Power User for dbt extension. If you write dbt in your VS Code, there are a couple of really good extensions available. One of those is Power User for dbt that our team builds and maintains. Today, I'm supposed to talk about challenges and opportunities that we have seen in using AI for data work, etc. But you do day-to-day data work, and I'm sure you have seen some of these already. This is going to be my attempt to cover as many as possible. So first and foremost, AI is moving at light speed. I think I'll start chatting with a couple of people. What we hear in few weeks, it changes completely, right? A lot of new things get launched, like started with RAG, agents, MCP, and new things coming day to day. But the important thing is AI can be used for data work. And what we are seeing is many of the cutting edge engineers now exploring this more and more and making their life faster, their work easier. So what are those areas? One area is data pipeline building and debugging. Especially with dbt, for example, you can use AI to convert your SQL into dbt models, or use AI to debug your dbt models too. And some of you might have been doing it already, maybe with Cursor, maybe with GitHub Copilot, Cloud Code, etc. Second area, bane of our engineers, right? Documentation or writing tests. You can use AI for that boring work, right? And get it done and get that PR merged very quickly. The third part is, I think a lot of people don't know about this, data platform management. So you need to go in, create a new warehouse, add new users, maybe configure some security compliance policies, or even as simple as optimize your SQL code. AI can be used for a lot of that work when it comes to data platform management, SQL optimization, configuring your infrastructure better. And last but not least, a lot of the work around business intelligence and insights. There are a lot of people out there saying, hey, AI data analysts are coming. There's a lot of dashboards it can create automatically, and maybe insights can be generated also. So the future is very, very exciting, even the present, but it comes with a lot of challenges also. And it's very natural going through this transformation. Now, what are those challenges? There different ways people are trying to do the data work. Like for example, using coding assistants for data work. The result is pain because coding assistants are developed to do software engineering work, to write just code. But when you use GitHub Copilot or Cursor, it has no idea a lot of times about your data because it's not going to go into Snowflake, read your data, or Databricks, go read your data, or connect into your data pipelines, figure out how all the configurations are. Or second thing, you must have experienced is sometimes it has mind of its own. You have to give too many instructions till it does weird things because it has too much information. And the last part, many times at least what I have seen, the business users that we interact with have no clue. They're still asking us a lot of questions, how to do these things, or do you know about this particular table, or what should I use, I want this, etc. So, we need to figure out easy way to feed the information that is in my data stack, the information that is in my documents and notes which might be sitting in Confluence, Notion, or it is just in my head. Like a lot of people in our data space, we don't like to write things, and that's why we call there's a lot of tribal knowledge that just in people's head. And I have been talking with lots and lots of users who use these coding assistants for data work. And these are some of the things people do. First, ingenious prompts. Like, hey, I have built this dbt model previously. Can you build my new model exactly looking like that? It's a workaround. It works sometimes, but a lot of times it doesn't work because not every model is same. Second, I was just talking with a person earlier. People create MD files in their Git repositories and they try to put context there. But we have too many repositories. How much of the stuff you're going to put in MD file, and it gets obsolete quickly. And as I said earlier, we don't like to maintain our documents. If we wanted to write documents, we would have become authors or somebody rather than coders. So that's what I have seen. Or third is, now MCP has been hard for a few months. MCP's server is answer to all. But MCP server is just a system to make calls into your data stack, right? And sometimes the information we need is scattered around that data stack. It's not going to sort of synthesize and filter all that information and get it to you. So MCP cannot be the answer to all of it, because when I talk to challenges, some people just come in and say, hey, just use MCP server, just use it. It's a bit of a hand waving. So those are some of the challenges I have seen. So we definitely need some system which can feed in all this information to AI and surface it at the right places. So what is that information? We must have heard about context engineering, right? It's the practice of collecting all that context, filtering out right information, and then feeding it to AI. When it comes to data space, we need, of course, data info. So it needs to have context about your data and metadata information, like what are the schemas, what's the lineage, oh, I have some DAGs, so information about DAGs, my DAG field, what's the log information, all those things. Second is documents, right? Your best practices. You have a cookbook for fixing dbt bugs, or you have a cookbook for those airflow DAGs, that information. And third part, I'm surprised a lot of people are not talking about it. It connects to that tribal knowledge part I was talking about. People write documents, still meet over Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and we discuss it. There's a lot of conversations that are happening, and that's how we learn about the work that needs to be done. So we need a system that can pull in those conversations as well and feed all that context in, which can be engineered and curated in the right way. Now this is my favorite. Hey, please remember what I told you. So when we get the work done in Copilot, right, it has its mind of its own. We come in, try to fix it, give it instructions, but like that child who doesn't want to listen to us, after 2 days it goes back and starts doing the same things again, right? So remember my instructions, remember what you have learned, and even like a person can dream, don't make my team give you same instructions again. So a lot of times I figured out how to do this work, and the couple of people on my team, they're struggling with the same stuff, right? So how do we fix it? How do we do this? So for this is another big problem we have seen. Context, second is memory, and the third is whatever AI we are building. I've been harping a little bit on those coding assistants. They do great, but we need sort of a system that is with us during that entire development process. So of course in IDEs and dev tools like maybe Git, but also in our ticketing systems. It should be around us when we are doing things in Jira or we are trying to do things in Linear. It should be with us. In our collab tools, whether it's Slack or Microsoft Teams, I want to interact with this system. Or even, for more of our business users, like in web browsers, as a desktop app. And this should be one coherent system, not like point tools. I have coding assistants for this, I have some Slack bot for this from a different vendor, or there is a desktop app and they don't talk with each other. Our classic problem, our systems don't talk with each other. We need a system that actually talks with all these interfaces, is available with us everywhere, comes with the context and comes with memory. Now we're seeing some head nods, so that gives me more of a validation. You guys have seen these pain points, etc. So I'm really hopeful about this space when it comes to AI, that different companies come together and start solving these things together. So from Ultimate AI side, we are trying to contribute in this whole movement through our way also. At Ultimate AI, we built these AI teammates which are available in these different systems. So far we have built some IDE extensions, Slack integration, but of course, being very candid with you, we are not yet in all the systems. We are trying to build that integration. But it comes with the context store. It integrates into some of the data tools. Data space is so vast, we can't yet integrate it to all of them. But prominent ones like dbt, Airflow, Databricks, Snowflake, it integrates into that. Pulls the context. It comes with the memory where the instructions you give, it remembers. And then we surface it in interfaces like directly in your coding assistants like GitHub Copilot or Cursor. So to give you an example, which I have written here on the left-hand side, the system can fake direct failure into the dbt model or Airflow, or you can just feed in a Jira ticket. The AI teammate will come in directly Cursor or something like this. It will read the ticket, logs from all this system. It will read your best practices from knowledge base. It will check the memory, come back with a fix and create a PR. It will actually validate the fix also, and it will bunch of work for you. The result is very rapidly done work, whether it's development, testing, documentation, debugging. So this is a pervasive system we are building with AI teammates. It's available for free to use and try it out. Works with your favorite coding assistant. So that's a quick shameless plug. Try it out, but the most important thing is it might have some bugs like any other software system. So would love to hear your feedback when you try it out. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And thank you so much for your audience today. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
So for the system that you have in which the AI learns what's going on, do you have your own internal thing, or are you using some sort of like open source tool that actually does that?
So it's a combination of open source tool versus some of the stuff that we have built in-house. For example, to connect with different databases, etc. We use SQL tools. Or for example, some other language information.
Could you use the microphone? Thank you.
Yeah, so what I was saying, the system is combination of multiple tools. Some are open source, some are closed source that we have built in-house. So to give you an example, we use, say, some other pieces of SQL Cloud, pull in the lineage information and then feed it into the system in that context. Or some other things that we have built is, for example, we have built in-house router, which routes the right queries to the right element. So it's a combination of both. For example, we have built a VS Code extension which is called Database, which can integrate with your cursor or GitHub Copilot, etc. directly in the IDE.
My question is around the core functionalities that you think your product would deliver that would be like the most used. I hear that you're putting in context, maybe some sort of an orchestration layer, if I may, or is it the logic, just to understand, and like maybe it's the logic that this data needs to be pulled from this particular system and whatnot, and then maybe you're also giving it some memory, and I mean, just a new person here, maybe gems on Gemini is probably like a way of saying that it's the gems functionality. But you also mentioned some other like features that you would think of. Like, what are the other features? Are you also thinking about CI/CD pipelines? So, like, just want to understand what are the top features you think you're delivering, and why would a company want to use you? That given.
So the hardest problems that we are solving, right? So starting from that top over there, context store. So first part is you have to pull all the data, metadata information and try to create sort of a store where all the information is available. But now the second part is when the task comes in, you need to do the sort of a right context selection. So doing the relevance ranking, figuring out which information is important and which information needs to be fed for that particular task is very, very important because your context window is not unlimited. So that's one of the hardest problems we are trying to solve. The second problem is when some task is given, this is not just like a simple query where you fire it and get the answer back. I'm talking about actually doing the work, and all of us, we know how hard debugging is and or even simply writing tests is. So the system comes up with a plan. Okay, for this, I need to do all these 7, 8 things and go in an order, and on the fly, I need to change that plan also depending on how I see the results. So there is a lot of intelligence that goes in the planning process also, what that plan should be. And the third part is, we all are familiar with the challenges of LLMs, like hallucinations and all those things. So validation of the work that is done also. So from our side, I was talking about AI Teammate, we have written a layer which is a bit of a post-processing layer also, which tries to analyze the work that is delivered is up to the norm or not before it gets delivered to the user. So there is a lot of innovation that we have done, but still there is so much scope because as you can see there are many problems in this area. We are working hard at solving this and some of the other companies also. So overall as a space and industry, we need to work on this, solve it right. It has the potential of completely transforming how we do the data work.
I can holler. You mentioned conversation data earlier. Are you plugging into anything that's doing transcriptions?
So not right now, but it's a very important part of it because a lot of the knowledge is just there in the conversations, or even when we tell people sometimes, coffee machine conversations and cooler conversations, we can't plug it yet into those conversations, but at least it's easier with the technology now to plug it into the Zoom conversations and Slack conversations, etc. Zoom, Google Meet, we haven't done it yet, but eventually our plans are to tap into those conversations also to pull into the context.
I'll try and holler too. I think my question is a bit more philosophical. It was a very good talk, and it had me thinking on one particular dimension. When you look across maintaining context of browser conversations, things like this, it occurs to me that the most natural place to do this is the OS, and this is probably a natural competitor for you. How are you going to compete if Chrome, Windows, or whatever else it is, gets into building creating a platform that allows you to do the context store, the memory, and the end pieces.
So, in the world of AI, right, building technology is not enough, right? Everybody has engineers. Bigger companies have more engineers, and of course they can build these up. The important thing in the AI is, as you deploy things in production, actually that's when the product starts getting built. It's not your traditional SaaS. And that's why for our startup, the approach we have taken is we give away the product for free. Because right now, at least at this stage of the company, our goal is to build the product right. And there are thousands and thousands of people right now are using this system and giving us the feedback. So our hope is that that will give us a huge competitive advantage because we'll start covering the corner cases and where the AI fails, where the context store fails. And like when you build a product, it's a race, and may the best product win, because ultimately what's important is users get tremendous value.